Alrighty, good evening, everyone. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday night. We're getting ready for a little weather heading into our direction. This will be Wednesday into Thursday. A sharp cold front's going to swing through. We're going to go from spring to winter pretty quickly. A flash freeze is possible late tomorrow night. We'll get some rainfall. We'll get some strong winds. Mid-coast Maine will have our strongest winds during the day Wednesday, and then we'll all get into some gusty winds for Wednesday night and into all day Thursday, in fact. Thanks for joining us tonight on YouTube, Twitter. What else we got? Facebook tonight. I hope everybody's having a nice night. In the new digital studio. I'm actually in Adrian's digital studio tonight, so that's why things look a little different here. We'll get this all figured out soon, but hope everybody is doing well. It felt pretty good today to have temperatures back in the 40s and 50s. If you live along coastal areas, you saw that fog bank move in and temperatures cooled off pretty quickly. That was pretty exciting to watch, right? It's the first spring-like fog bank, legendary Maine fog bank that made its way inland. So usually that happens in the spring. So it's officially spring, right? If that happens. That is about to change, though. The warm air will win out, but it looks like we do have one really cold day to talk about. And the time frame for that will be Thursday. All right, let's take a look at what we have right now. Let's start you off with some fog. Hey, fog is the big story tonight. We're down to quarter-mile visibility right now. For areas like Sanford, Lewiston, Augusta, you have quarter-mile visibility. So we're watching the potential for some pretty thick fog overnight. A dense fog advisory has been issued. So might want to take it slow if you're out and about on the roadways tonight. Let's take you into the day tomorrow. Tomorrow looks to be a wet day. I don't think it's going to rain all day. When it's not raining, it's probably drizzling. So where the Daily Planner says light rain, it's probably just drizzle. But the wind looks mostly manageable for southern and central Maine and western Maine, New Hampshire as well. What's going to happen, there'll be a strong inversion, marine inversion, and the ground's cold as well for interior parts of Maine. So that's going to keep the cold, at least the strongest winds aloft, except for areas near Penobscot Bay. So that's the area that could be the problem area for wind tomorrow. But for the rest of us, it's going to be windy, but I don't think we're going to get widespread outages. Our best chance for getting outages area-wide will probably be midnight tomorrow night through Thursday after the front moves through. Now, the first round of precip is getting into the area right now. Those of you to New Hampshire, you'll get into this pretty soon, probably in the next hour or so. This line of rain you see here moving into western parts of Massachusetts, that gets into southern and central Maine. My guess probably around 1 o'clock in the morning. I might get a little drizzle before that. But there's actually this feature right here that will move through, and this is the cold front. That's the boundary between the mild air that we have in place and some mighty cold air that will be working in the wake of that front for late Wednesday night. So let's time this out together. First round of precip, there it is, 1 o'clock in the morning. See, I wasn't lying, 1 o'clock, there's that first round coming through. We have some heavy downpours. Temperatures are just too warm to support snow, of course. Let's take you into the day on Wednesday. Storm trackers, it's on the low side for precip. I think we'll probably get some on and off showers, some drizzle throughout the day, but I do not think we're going to get a heavy all-out flooding rain during the day Wednesday. You might get a downpour here and there, but our best chance for that is probably late tomorrow, and to be more specific, probably like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock tomorrow night. So the day itself is just cloudy, showers, drizzle. And the wind is active as well. That wind picks up out of the south. Now, the area we're watching for wind will be this area right in there. So mid-coast, actually down East Maine as well. But at least in our viewing area, mid-coast over toward Penobscot Bay. For the rest of us, a south wind. It'll be gusty, but I think the marine inversion will keep things at bay with gusts probably 25 to maybe as high as 40 miles per hour. But in the area I just circled right there, we could get some gusts over 50 miles per hour. So we'll keep an eye on that. But air temperatures will be around 50. Storm tracker may be a little generous by a degree or two. I think most areas top out around 50 degrees tomorrow with some clouds, showers, drizzle. That will be with us through tomorrow night. So the main event is tomorrow night. So we've been highlighting about 10 p.m. to midnight. Those of you near Penobscot Bay, closer to maybe 1 a.m. for the passage of the front. But this front means business. I mean, this is going to be exciting to watch. If you're a weather enthusiast, if you're a lover of weather, you're going to love this. because you have to have a respect for Mother Nature when you see something like this, right? Temps will be around 50 on the east side of the front, and the temperatures could fall 25 degrees in just 6 hours. I want to highlight about midnight to about 6 a.m. for the potential for a flash freeze. Now, typically in these situations, I'm not too concerned about icy conditions because usually the wind dries up the roads. Now, the rate at we're going to cool is probably greater than the rate we can dry up the roads with the wind. So we're probably going to be dealing with the potential for a flash freeze. Midnight to about maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it might extend to 6 a.m. or so. But look at this. I mean, this is going to be exciting to see. You see that front move through. We'll probably end with some wet snowflakes on the backside. We'll clear out rapidly. The wind shifts over to the west, and it's going to be an abrupt change in wind direction. We're going to go from south to west, just like that, and the wind's going to pick up as the atmosphere becomes more what we call well mixed. We have that marine inversion during the day, keeping the strongest winds aloft. As soon as the front comes through, the mixing layer rises to about 5,000, 6,000 feet in elevation. So the reason I bring all this up, that's a technical term suggesting that we could tap into some pretty strong winds that are about 5,000, 6,000 feet above us, starting at midnight tomorrow night, or starting as soon as that front moves through and extending into and through the entire day on Thursday. So that's going to be exciting, that time frame as well. So 6 a.m. Thursday, so we're going from 50 degrees back down into the 20s. So the temps are probably going to be falling, 25 degrees in 6 hours. So when was the last time that happened? That's going to be exciting. So the temperatures will probably stay in the 20s all day long Thursday, and it's the only cold day that we have in the 7-day forecast. After that, the warm-up begins on Friday. We should be near 40, and we're probably talking about 50s returning over the weekend. Saturday's still a little tricky. Some rain, a little storm might be close to us late in the day on Saturday. If we can hold off some clouds, we'll get into the 50s that day, but I'm not convinced that's going to happen. All right, let's take a look at the wind here. This is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, and most of the area has a manageable wind, 25 to 35 mile per hour winds. We're watching areas like Portland, Lewiston, Augusta, all the way back through the western mountain region. Higher elevations, of course, will get stronger winds, but the area to watch will be Mid-Coast Maine. Because you get that south wind, it's more prominent in these areas right here. So areas from the peninsulas and islands all the way down into maybe from Brunswick, Bath points east all the way into down East Maine. So we're going to watch that throughout the day tomorrow. Most of southern and central Maine, I'm not too concerned about widespread outages, but you could get some scattered outages over toward Mid-Coast Maine. There's the front starting to show up at about 8 p.m. It's getting into Vermont, over toward the Connecticut River, between Vermont and New Hampshire. And most of us are gusting probably 25 to 35 miles per hour still. But look at Augusta, you're up near 40 miles per hour. And those of you up towards Mid-Coast Maine, you're probably getting into those gusts that could get up around 50 miles per hour in that window right there. Now, when that front moves through, there will be an abrupt change in wind direction, and there will be an abrupt change in wind speed for many areas as well. Areas outside of Mid-Coast Maine that don't get the extreme winds, the strong winds during the day, will start getting them as soon as the front moves through. So notice just ahead of that front, the winds are out of the south, and just behind the front, the wind shifts over to the west. And it's that west wind that will start cranking probably around 40 miles per hour. Right in the wake of the front, and that will extend into and through the day on Thursday. So you might get a max wind gust around 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, actually midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, somewhere in there, and then maybe another max at some point during the day on Thursday as what we call the atmosphere becomes well mixed throughout the day. So that's something to keep an eye on, but it looks like, if this was 3, 4 months from now when, we had leaves on the trees and the ground wasn't frozen, I think we would have some bigger problems with power outages. But I think we can handle this for the most part. There will be some scattered outages, but I don't think it's a big widespread, 400,000 or anything like that. Customers without power. It should be a lot less than that as far as the wind and the potential for power outages. That's about lunchtime on Thursday. Notice we're still gusting around 40 for some areas. So I think we'll probably get some gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour into the day on Thursday, but it's a west-northwest wind while temperatures are in the 20s. So, what's that? Wind chills, single digits and teens for many areas. But that's our one-day cool down. After that, we're in better shape. So the 7-day, we go from 50 to 20s. Friday, temps modify a bit. The weekend's tricky. I think that rain is going to be close to us late Saturday. Even that's not big. It's just a weak system to our south. And we should get into some sun Sunday. We're back in the 50s. And might get another round of rain or drizzle moving in for Tuesday of next week. And I know what you're wondering. Where are the storms? No big snowstorms are in the forecast. Well, the only storm we have, it's not even a storm, is a very sharp cold front moving through late tomorrow night. There's your inland forecast. We have one really cold night there, single numbers and teens. That'll be Thursday night. Those red icons are our weather warning icons for wind. Tomorrow, the weather warning is for mid-coast Maine only. It's for the entire region starting around midnight in the wake of the front tomorrow night and extending through Thursday. So that's how that is shaping up here. I hope that pretty much answers everyone's questions. The reason I say that, I'm going to try to get to the questions here. Let's see. Hope everybody. Let's see. We all right. So we are starting to see some questions come in tonight. So good to see that. Again, I'm in the new studio tonight, so everything's a little bit foreign tonight, and I think I'm actually on Adrian's login account here too. So hope everybody's getting their info at least. But this is Adrian's studio for raising me, ME for Maine. You can check out her podcast. She has a lot of great topics, so she's in here doing that every week. Mid-coast can have it, Troy says. Yeah, they can handle the wind usually. A lot of mid-coast towns can. The trees are pretty resilient, and folks are pretty resilient. Mid-coast Maine as well. Bring on the rain. All right, Joseph says. Yeah, nobody wants the snow. Let's see. In Sanford, there must be another question. All right, Charlie. Will it be slippery Thursday morning? Oh, good question. It could be. Flash freeze is possible. Midnight to 6 a.m. So my guess is the road crews, if we have that issue, we'll put some salt down by the morning. We'll definitely know what's happening by 2 a.m. If the wind doesn't dry up the roads quick enough here, Susan, you'll know by 2 a.m. I mean, it's one of those. It's not like it's 6, 7 o'clock in the morning and everybody's going to be caught off guard. So I think it will be one of those. All right, let's see here. Ethel says, "What's the tornado threat?" Oh, I don't think we have a tornado threat. We have a damaging wind threat. Ethel, yeah, let's hope we don't have a tornado threat. You never know. There could be an embedded thunderstorm though. Midnight, probably 10, 11, 12 or so. That would be tomorrow night. Icy commute Tuesday morning. Yeah, we just answered that. Sarah, hope you got your information there. But yeah, we'll know by 2 a.m. The reason we're talking about this flash freeze is we have all these wet surfaces. Temperatures will be falling probably 25 degrees in 6 hours, midnight to 6 a.m. So it's in that window that, we could see the icy conditions kick in quicker than the wind can dry up the roads. Usually the wind dries up the roads. When it's this strong, I'm usually not too concerned. But yeah. Oh boy, how much snow will melt in Farmington area? Yeah, all right, we haven't talked about the ice jam potential. Yeah, so I think a lot of it's going to melt in Farmington. Not great news if you're a skier, snowboarder, ice fisherman, not great news at all. Because temps will be near 50 even in the mountains. And, you have that snow-eating fog that's already developed tonight. That's an issue. You get the wind helps melt the snow sometimes when you have a strong southerly wind. Just the movement of that warm air can melt the snow. And then you get the rain on top of it. Not great for snow lovers here, Connor. Wish I had better news for you. And wind gusts, 25 to 35 miles per hour tomorrow. You'll get gusts over 40 miles per hour starting midnight tomorrow night and extending through Thursday. 25. Mom's checking in. Hey, thanks, Mom. 25 degrees in 6 hours. It's going to be awesome. She has an appreciation for weather. She's also a weather enthusiast. That will be nice for sleeping. Sarah says, yep. Rainy night. Yeah. I actually think tomorrow night's one of those nights you might wake up because the wind will be south. If you have a bedroom that faces south, it'll be gusty south wind through about 11 midnight. And then if you have a window that faces west or northwest, that's when the wind kicks in around midnight and you might wake up to the strong winds from hitting that window in the pre-dawn hours. So midnight to, all day Thursday. Wanda says, good evening. Hello, Wanda. Is there going to be a lot of rain, Oxford County? I don't think we're getting a ton of rain, half inch to a, I haven't even looked at that in too much detail. It doesn't look like a lot of rain, half an inch to an inch maybe. Don't hold me to that at this point, but I'm not too concerned about widespread flooding. If we see any flooding, it's probably due to poor drainage, and ice jams, more so ice jams on rivers. So the Weather Service has already gone ahead and issued a flood watch for the ice jam potential. With especially in the foothills where the rivers are still covered with ice, they're going to be breaking up and flowing downstream, along with some meltwater from the snow. There's the chance for some ice jams tomorrow and into tomorrow night. All right, Troy. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for the nice words. All right, Barbie, you're welcome. Thanks for checking in tonight. Sounds like everybody's getting their info. I was wondering how this is going to go because I'm in this new studio, and it seems to be working okay. Power outages, Allie. Yeah, all right, good question. Now might be a good time to go through the power outage potential. I think that chance is greatest mid-coast Maine tomorrow. So let's see here. This is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I think the gusts are pretty manageable out of the south for most of southern, central, interior Maine. But notice Rockland's near 50 miles per hour. So anywhere across mid-coast Maine here to down east Maine, there is the chance for power outages anytime from afternoon through tomorrow night. Now, I think our greatest chance for power outages area-wide starts around midnight tomorrow night. Notice the front gets through, and then the wind shifts abruptly over to the west. So let's just check this out. See, kind of see what's happening. You get the wind that cranks out of the south ahead of the front, and then you have the wind that cranks out of the west behind the front. And when the westerly wind kicks in, we'll be able to tap into some winds aloft. So some stronger winds at about 6,000 feet will mix down right down to the ground level. So that will produce some gusts, probably over 35 to 45 miles per hour. So yeah, there's a chance for scattered outages. Allie, I don't think it's widespread. I don't think it's one of those where, we're looking at, 300, 400,000 or anything like that. So good question, Jared. Is winter over? I don't think so. I think mid-month something's coming back. So let's keep an eye on mid to late March. I mean, we're going to have to pay the price somewhere, right? All right. Snow probably, yeah, I'm with you on that. It will come in April or something like that. All right, guys. Those of you just joining us, thanks. A bunch of people checking in. Let's just go through the timing one more time of the rain. Rains tonight, tomorrow, showers, drizzle. I don't think we're getting a lot of rain tomorrow. Notice we're near 50 degrees. That's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The lion's share of our rainfall comes with the front. This is the most exciting time as the front comes through right in here. I lost my cursor. Oh, well. But you get the idea. Oh, there it is. It's back. We're near 50 on the east side of the front. I think a lot of you will end with a little bit of wet snow. You will. Probably midnight, somewhere in there, 11, midnight. But we're going to go from probably around 50. Those temps might be a little generous at 54, probably like 50, 51, 52. But then, 6 a.m. we're in the 20s. So there you go. That's why this is exciting. You got to love Mother Nature, right? All right, folks, we'll leave it at that tonight. Hope everybody is having a good Tuesday night. Week's cruising right along. After this, things will quiet down later in the week, and really there are no big storms in sight after the strong front moves through for Wednesday night. All right, have a nice night. Christian will be back with another update first thing tomorrow. I'll have some updates with some new information on CBS 1311, Fox 23 at 10. See you then. Have a nice night.